Indeed, Christine, for that, moving into India Upfront, viewers, on the show tonight, the big story on Times Now, as you know, exclusive, has created a flutter across the country. The Gyanvapi tape show you for the first time what many people have only hinted at. What you're seeing on your screens is video evidence. We brought this video evidence out last night on this show. And this video evidence, according to the Hindu side, is conclusive. They say that the video evidence tells you indisputably that there is a shivling, that there are motifs that belong to Hindu culture and are representative of architecture associated with Hindu temples. Now, from the basement to the walls to the Vazukhana, this footage captures everything. The proof is there on camera in the Gyanvapi tapes, from the alleged shivling to Hindu idols to swastikas to trishuls on the walls and in the basement. Despite that, the ridiculing and the denials continue. The mosque committee officials today said that what is being claimed as proof is actually fabrication. It's an elaborate fabrication. Speaking to Times Now, the Gyanvapi Mosque Committee's SM Yassin explained away all that has been photographed inside the Gyanvapi complex. He said that the idols of Hindu gods found in the basement are remnants from a workshop that was run there earlier. As for the swastikas and tridents, he dismissed them as the work of imaginative vandals. Listen in.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है। ये तो 1850 के आसपास शायद ये फव्वारा बनाया गया था, और फव्वारे में पहले कोई इलेक्ट्रिक मैकेनिज्म नहीं हुआ था कि फव्वारा चलता था। सरकारी पाइपलाइन जुड़ी हुई थी, जब प्रेशर आता था तो वो चलता था। मैंने खुद उसको चलते हुए देखा है फव्वारे को। उसके बाद जब पाइप सड़ गई, पाइप आज भी वहाँ रखी हुई है, जो सड़ी हुई पाइप थी जो हटाई गई वो आज भी रखी हुई है। और दूसरी बात ये है, इतने सालों तक हमारे कब्जे में था, क्या हम हटा नहीं सकते थे? अगर हमें ऐसा कुछ महसूस होता, गलत महसूस होता, ऐसा कुछ नहीं था। हिंदू किराएदार जो मूर्तियों का कारोबार करते थे वो भी वहाँ रहते थे, और वो अपनी जो टूटी फूटी मूर्तियाँ थी वो वहाँ फेंक देते थे। अब वो वहाँ फेंक करके उसके बाद बैरिकेडिंग हो गई। बैरिकेडिंग के बाद से अंदर से कोई सामान बाहर नहीं जा सका, इसलिए वो वहीं पड़ी रह गई और उसकी तरफ किसी ने ध्यान नहीं दिया। बस ये है। ये बाद में किसी वक्त कुरेदा गया है। जब ये बैरिकेडिंग नहीं थी, एक्सेस टू ऑल था, तो हो सकता है किसी ने जानबूझ के कुरेदते रहे हों, क्योंकि अक्सर आप जाके देखिए वहाँ पे कहीं बोतल है, कहीं मिट्टी के बर्तन हैं, इस तरह के लोग फेंकते रहते हैं वहाँ। तो ये आम बात है, ऐसी कोई बात नहीं। वहाँ एक भोला नाम का आदमी आता था जो रंगाई पुताई का काम करता था, वो अक्सर कुरेदा करता था। कई जगह उसने कुरेदा, यहाँ तक कि उसने एक जगह श्री राम लिख दिया था। जब उसको पकड़ा गया कि भैया ये श्री राम तुमने यहाँ क्यों लिख दिया, तब उसके बाद उसको हटाया गया। आप जो भी आपको ये चिन्ह मिले हैं, ये सिस्टमेटिक नहीं होंगे, ये सिस्टमेटिक हैं भी नहीं। आड़े तिरछे ऐसे उसे जैसे चाहा उसने कुरेद दिया, और वो जो है ये शरारत थी और कुछ नहीं उसकी।
This is the first time that the Gyanvapi committee or a representative of the committee has commented on this fresh new video that has emerged. AIMIM chief Asaduddin Owaisi still insists that irrespective of the proof, even if it approximates to the truth, for him, there can actually be nothing that suggests that whatever stood before this was a Hindu monument. He's adamant, viewers. He says it doesn't matter at all what the videography reveals, even if it proclaims it to be a Hindu structure, he's not going to believe it. Listen in.
देखिए हमारी ड्यूटी थी कोर्ट को सही बात बतानी थी और बतलाने की कि जो एनवेलप था वो हम एज इट इज रखे हुए हैं और हमने इसको ओपन नहीं किया है। कोर्ट ने कहा आप रखे रहिए, हमारी ड्यूटी ख़त्म हो गई, वो ऐसे ही रखा रहेगा सील कवर में। अब कैसे लीक हुआ, क्या हुआ, ये तो कोई एजेंसी जांच करे वही बता सकती है। जांच का विषय है, परंतु बहुत सीरियस विषय है, ये साधारण बात नहीं है। और क्यों लीक हुआ इसकी जांच होनी चाहिए।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट में जब इस मसले की सुनवाई हो रही थी तो ऑनरेबल जजेस ने ख़ास तौर से बात कही कि लीक रिपोर्ट्स नहीं चलाना चाहिए मीडिया को। तो मीडिया अगर लीक रिपोर्ट्स चला रहा है तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो बात कही आप उसको भूल रहे हैं, तो ये गलत है। दूसरी बात यह है कि 15 अगस्त 1947 को ज्ञानवापी मस्जिद थी, तो अब उस कानून के तहत वो मस्जिद रहेगी ना, उसका नेचर और कैरेक्टर कोई तब्दील किया जा सकता है।
Nothing doing, a mosque is going to remain a mosque. Nothing changes as far as Asaduddin Owaisi is concerned. Viewers, the mosque side has also now produced pictures of what they claim are the remnants of plumbing. Let's show those pictures. Yes, remnants of plumbing that went along with the shivling, the purported shivling in the Wazukhana. They claim that this skeleton of pipes existed in the Wazukhana and is a firm proof that there was a fountain there. Why this was not subjected to videography, we don't know. The video is an old one, it's an undated one, so we cannot verify its authenticity. But this has been put out now by the mosque side. Why this was not subjected for examination to the commissioners that were appointed by the court, we don't know. But this is exactly what is being put out to suggest that the fountain was in fact in the Wazukhana, and that every other claim is therefore ultra-virus of the facts. Now viewers, let's open this up because this is an important debate. It has been raging continuously for the last few weeks, and it has now reached a peak with these new videos that are emerging. I want to begin with a very, very simple question. And I want to go straight across to Mujeeb Ur Rehman, Vivek Srivastava. Mujeeb Ur Rehman, Owaisi says even the truth is not right for them. Sach bhi sahi nahi hai. Making it very, very clear that there is no question of this being anything else but a mosque in his view. Now I just want to ask, why this brazen and obstinate defense of what the Mughals did? The Mughals came in, they vandalized Hindu structures. Obviously for them they represented something that was not tolerant to them, and they went ahead. Why prevent Hindus from securing justice? What is the special connection with what some iconoclastic, obscurantist, radical Mughal kings did?
No. First thing is, it's nothing but a fallacy that the Mughals destroyed Hindu structures in India. What they did, they just built a greater India, a prosperous India and a secular India. Even we see a lot of old temples claiming Prachin Mandir, and at every other street of even the capital and throughout the country. So there is no point that Mughals were destroying the temples, because thousands of old temples are still standing throughout the country over which Mughals have ruled. Now the second is, as per the law, if that place is used as a mosque and its character is as a mosque, then certainly it will remain as a mosque. There is no point to dig out the history, because this is not what comes. Observe Supreme Court observed that doing this will certainly disturb our social fabric of the country, because nobody will say the correct history to you. You will put your own perspective, and we will put our own perception about it.
Many people will say, Mr. Rehman, that what disturbs the social fabric, that disturbs relationships between communities, is when one community and spokespersons of that community, such as yourself, come out and suggest that the Hindus have imagined that their temples have been desecrated. That creates bad blood. Would you not agree, sir? Truth and reconciliation are at the heart of this. The truth is essential to reconciliation. If you're not even going to accept what Aurangzeb's own biographers have accepted and written in books, then we have a problem.
No, imaginations have no limit. Anybody can imagine
imaginations
anything.
have no limit. Let me bring in Mr. Poonawala. Mr. Poonawala, imaginations have no limit. The BJP that at least ideologically supports this move, suggestive of the fact that you're interested in correcting historical injustice, you're being told that your imaginations are running wild, that you are spawning hate, which is ruining the social fabric. This is exactly what is being said by Mr. Rehman.
So Rahul, सत्य को प्रताड़ित किया जा सकता है, परंतु उसको पराजित नहीं किया जा सकता, and therefore today the truth is coming out. And I want to say that if we are quoting Supreme Court and courts of law, in 1997 the Supreme Court in the Kashi Vishwanath case has observed that how Aurangzeb had actually destroyed the original Jyotirlinga and had tried to create a mosque-like structure. There is a 1983 act of the UP government passed by the Party which says section 4 subsection 9 that this is the original Jyotirling of Adi Vishweshwara. There is also the Deen Muhammad case in which the Britishers, who had no love lost for anybody in India, who have filed an affidavit. There is also Salman Khurshid's book Sunrise over Ayodhya, where he has mentioned how Aurangzeb broke the mandir and tried to create a masjid. Now whether this particular structure is a masjid or not is to be determined yet, and that's what exactly Mr. Chandrachud also said, that the character of this place has to be determined. That's not barred under 1991 law, and therefore this matter, even though they went to Supreme Court for a stay under 1991, wasn't
but he's questioning the premise. He's saying that you got your history wrong. You're spreading fake news. That's what he's saying.
Well, I just told you how the Supreme Court itself has endorsed that Aurangzeb had broken this mandir. In fact, there are biographers of Aurangzeb
Mr.
who have
Rehman.
endorsed this. But I just want to have one question, just one particular question. Today, whatever you are showing on television camera, can Mr. Rehman or Mr. Srivastava, whoever is the better Islamic scholar, tell us whether any masjid in India has a trishul on it, a kamal chin on it, swastik on it, Ma Shingar Gauri on it, Nandi Bull sitting in front of it, and there is all these
Srivastava, would you like to respond?
Any other masjid, and if any masjid is named Gyanvapi, or any Islamic text talk about it.
I'll tell you what, how is that possible? You never invited anyone to become a Hindu. That is your problem. Today you complain that we are the only Hindu nation in the world. Why are you the only Hindu nation in the world? You had the Brahmins had a superiority complex, and you never actually invited anyone, talked about yourself, or you never tried to preach. That is a problem.
No, sir, Hindus never had an agenda of trying to enforce their religion by sword.
And Muslims
Hindus believed in Vasudeva Kutumbakam.
Now what Vasudeva Kutumbakam?
This is the fundamental principle of Hinduism and Sanatan Dharma.
No, what Sanatan Dharma? You did not allow a Dalit to enter a temple. Even today he cannot become a priest.
So these were all of this came with whom you know. It came with the aggressors. All of the malpractices came with the aggressors.
No, let's come on the present issue. Let's come on the present issue.
Name where any masjid has a lotus, has Ma Shingar Gauri, Ganesh ji on it.
Let's talk one by one. 84,000 Buddhist stupas were destroyed by Pushyamitra Shung. What justice are you talking of?
So go dig those also and find them. Nobody is stopping you to go to court.
I mean, kiska justice?
If any Buddhist wants to go to court, who's stopping him?
If there is an Aurangzebi Mansikta, there is also an Ashoki Mansikta.
Aurangzeb Mansikta. No, Mr. Srivastava, do you, first of all, let me ask you a very basic question. Just recently, an MIM leader, Asaduddin Owaisi's brother, goes to visit the tomb of Aurangzeb. He lays a wreath, he pays his obeisance, and he comes away. Do you endorse that?
That's his personal problem.
I'm asking you, do you endorse that? You've talked about Aurangzebi mindset.
In a country of 130 crores, one Neta goes and done something. Does that mean we hang all the Muslims and say you are all Aurangzeb followers? Is that the narrative we should build? No. I appreciate Akbar.
He is demeaning Muslims by going and taking obedience to him, not to APJ
Akbar has done a lot of good for the nation. Let's appreciate it. And the for this blood. The Mughals had Indian God also.
In fact, the Muslims of this country are telling him, pay obeisance to APJ Abdul Kalam, not to Aurangzeb. Don't tag the Muslims here. This is about the Mughals. Do you endorse any leader going and paying obeisance to Aurangzeb of all the Mughals?
No. There is nothing called Aurangzebi Mansikta. A king is a king and a king is a corrupt man. It is not democracy before 1947. You need to understand, and every king wanted land and money. That's it. Whether it is Aurangzeb,
then why not acknowledge that this mandir was broken by Aurangzeb, the corrupt, the tyrant, the bigot?
No, you can
this was demolished by.
That is what I'm trying to say. There are so many Hindu kings who are also tyrants.
Mr. Vivek
Forget them
Srivastava,
for me to ask about this.
if you want to clinch it, if as Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehman is doing, you want to clinch it the desecrations of Aurangzeb, then what does it tell you? That there is what is known as, in your words, an Aurangzebi Mansikta. That there is a mindset. And it's an Aurangzebi mindset. You yourself are proving the point.
No, yes. We need to forget this, what has happened in the past, whether it is Dalit atrocities or it is
No,
the
then
breaking
why are
of the
we giving, why are you doing affirmative action for, why are you then doing affirmative action for certain communities? Then don't do it. Why are you doing it?
In 2022, you should make India a superpower.
If that is the case, Vivek Srivastava, why is your party, the CPM, holding a exclusive conclave for Muslims? When you don't believe in religion and identity politics.
Because, yes, exactly. Because in a civilized democracy...
What is that if it's not Aurangzebi and Mansikta, if it's not about mazhab?
We are not an uncivilized democracy like Pakistan, where the majority competes with the minority.
But you don't believe in identity politics. You don't believe in identity politics.
So next, Mr. Srivastava, next will you, Mr. Srivastava, if you can just listen to me. Next you will say that we must forget all the sins that were done by our colonial rulers and we should go and start praising them also. Maybe next you'll go to the mazar of maybe the killer of Jallianwala Bagh and start paying obeisance to him also. Because we have to forgive and move on. तो मतलब अब बस अंग्रेजों की भी कबर पर जाकर आप शुरू कर दो. आप शुरू कर दो वैसे भी your ideology is imported from Mao, so might as well go to the cover of all the Angrez who have killed our people.
Well then, at that level, Mr. Vivek Srivastava, we should also forget all the sins that have been committed by who you constantly berate in this country, the RSS, the Hindu Mahasabha, and their personalities like Godse, etc. We should forget all that, or those are some special category.
Absolutely not, because after 1947, in a democratic country, they are still there. They are trying to affect my democracy, they are affecting my constitution.
Okay, Mr. Sikandar Bhakt, how do you respond to Vivek Srivastava? You're just digging up ghosts from the past and creating problems.
I am not Sikandar Bhakt, I am Firoz Bakht.
Sorry, Firoz
anyway,
Bakht.
it's all right,
yes.
Perfectly all right. Now, Rahul, I am very sad to listen to this kind of a debate because Mr. Rehman is adamant. And I also heard my good old friend, Mr. Srivastava. In fact, we should try to find a solution.
Yeah.
And I have a very revolutionary kind of an idea which many people, even in the debate, and maybe the people who are listening to us around the globe, they might not like it. What I am saying is, this situation should be placated peacefully by way of amicable discussion, by way of amelioration, and also by way of accepting the faults of these kings and sultans. Now it is a fact, even in the book Mahasir Alamgiri by Saqi Saadat Khan, it has been clearly mentioned that what Aurangzeb did. I am not going into the good or bad deed of Aurangzeb. What he did has
but
been
Mr. Bhatt, are you getting the sense today that there are some people who want
could I
to
complete,
rationalize
Rahul,
and
if you give me
whitewash Mughal
5
crimes?
seconds more, just 5 seconds, humble request. Now what I mean to say is that we should beg for pardon for whatever Aurangzeb and all these people had done. They had raised these temples to the ground, and we should just tell the government, okay, Ram Mandir is settled by way of court. let us not settle all these things by way of court. We should settle these things out of court. Poonawala is also a lawyer. Court likes that all such issues should be settled amicably in a friendly manner outside the court. So we should say, okay, you take these. It's a very, very objectionable thing, maybe for my friends sitting here in the debate.
So you're saying beg for pardon and settle things out of court. That's
out
what
of
you're
court.
saying. Okay,
These two shrines should be handed over. Otherwise, every shrine, every mosque, Lal Qila, Qutub Minar, all these things, Red Fort, these will be taken by way of court. I am telling my community, I am telling my friends. So settle it. Don't make the mistake which was made at the time of Ram Mandir.
Okay,
so settle it out of
Rahman,
court.
how do you respond to what seems to be an intervention from Firoz Bakht Ahmed, saying very clearly that the time has come to accept, beg for pardon, settle out of court amicably. Let's not reduce this to a zero-sum game.
And also this should come to a full stop. No mosque, nothing should be open. And of course, these three are the basic ones. That is Ram Mandir.
Okay, let's get a reaction. We'll come to that. We'll come to the next chapter. Atiq Ur Rehman. Atiq Ur Rehman.
Perhaps, Rahul, perhaps this was the intention when the parliament, came out with the 1991 places of worship. This was the intention. If you are not believing, it's your choice. Otherwise, Firoz Saab has used a very good word, amelioration. Now, this amelioration part, the ball falls in the court of the incumbent government. Is the government taking any steps towards this amelioration? Amelioration of which community? The minority, the majority, the Hindus, the Muslims. Which community amelioration is Mr. Firoz Bakht Ahmed is calling for? And I completely agree. Where is the wherewithal with this government in the past 8 years that they want to build bridges amongst the communities? Have they tried ever? The Prime Minister refuses to get a skull cap in a Muslim gathering. Is this building bridges amelioration?
If people like...
What are you talking of, Firoz Saab? Of course, this is possible.
Like Owaisi brothers, Adam Khan. If we have Muslim leaders, the so-called Muslim leaders like this Rahman Saab, then I am sorry to say no amelioration will take place, no solution will come. Let us solve it. Otherwise, it is going in a very, very unfortunate way. I'm going to say it might turn into a very unfortunate incident in the days to come. Let us nip it in the bud and sort it out peacefully.
Let me ask you a question. Is Mr. Owaisi articulate? One second, it's a very simple question. Mr. Atiq Ur Rehman, is Mr. Owaisi a person who can be trusted with safeguarding Muslim interests in India? Yes or no? Simple question to you.
Yeah. No, this is please, sir, please. No, yes or no. I'll give you a complete answer, a brief answer. And this is very important.
No, so you're saying that he should not be trusted. So you're saying that people like him...
You answer the question. You answer the question.
Just answer the question.
You are a lawyer.
No, I never said
you are
this.
a knowledgeable person. Answer the question.
This.
Don't say it's not a yes or no straight answer.
Do people like Mr. Owaisi, do they look out for the welfare of the Muslim community? Do the Rahul Gandhis of the world do so? They all wear skull caps from time to time in important gatherings.
In fact, these are the people who have harmed the Muslim community beyond redemption.
Mulayam Singh Yadav, did they look after the interests of the Muslim community? Are they your heroes? I'm just asking, sir. It's a very simple question. Yes or no?
This is very important question, and I'll give you a complete reply. But please don't expect a yes or no, because if you are talking of amelioration, if you are talking of placing all these, matters above law, then you have to at least recognize whom you are believing in, whom you want to talk. Owaisi Saab is no. If Owaisi Saab is not in your good books, All India Muslim Personal Law Board is not in your good books. No Muslim organization is in your good books. whom shall you talk?
No, but
and
we
whom
did.
shall you
We
expect
did
to show a big
during
heart?
the Ayodhya, in the build-up to the Ayodhya judgment. I want to bring in Ishkaran Bhandari because
No,
one second, Ishkaran Bhandari, let me bring you in.
No,
Dr.
the
Swami,
government of India
1
never
second,
tried.
Atikur Rahman, please let someone else speak now. We've heard you. You've danced around the question. You haven't answered my question. You've actually put the onus on the government to recognize people. You haven't said who you recognize, who you think looks up for Muslim interests. Now, 1 second. Let me bring in Mr. Bhandari. Mr. Bhandari, Dr. Subramaniam Swami was involved in a kind of ameliorative exercise where he tried to bring together members of both communities and come to some sort of a settlement, out-of-court settlement, in the Ayodhya issue. It didn't happen, did it? Why?
Rahul, it will because the answer given by Mr. Rehman, which leader would the Muslim sides trust? As you asked him a very simple question, do you trust Rahul Gandhi? Do you trust Owaisi? Do you trust XYZ? They will never find anybody to trust because the problem was set out in your times now, last debate where a panelist from the Muslim side said, proof ikattha karke kar kya loge? Then the mindset is that even if you find the proof, once you broke the video, and we were having a debate on the video, even if you get the proof, kar kya loge? If the mindset is that we will not allow you to do, and we will not abide by the court, then the problem starts occurring in a democracy where one side believes in the law and the other side says if you make CA a law to give citizenship to certain classes who are facing persecution in Pakistan or Bangladesh, तो law बनाते कर क्या लोगे हम सड़क पे हिंसा कर लेंगे. When the question, the civilizational here is this. If, and we just now had an advocate saying that Mughals were very secular, Aurangzeb was very secular. Just open, I just did jizya tax imposed by Aurangzeb. Times of India, I will read out that people who protested against jizya tax, he had them crushed under elephants. Those people are called secular, but nobody is asking restitution for that. All
he killed his father, he killed his brothers.
In a democracy, under rule of law, where if it is established, and that's a civilizational question, that the holiest of holy sites were broken by a barbaric king, do we have justice? Does the right to worship and pray after we have gotten independence exist in the holiest sites of birthplaces? That is the civilizational question we have to ask ourselves. And those relying on the fig leaf of places of worship, let me just put in 3 points.
No, 1 second, Vivek Srivastava, why, as Ishkaran Bhandari is saying, why maintain a shrine that celebrates barbarism of Aurangzeb? Is he a hero?
Just 10 seconds.
Is he a hero? Okay, last 10 seconds, Mr. Bhandari will finish. Last 10 seconds, yes.
Rahul, on Places of Worship Act, there are... Firstly, the Supreme Court did not say that the Places of Worship Act bars this suit. They had specifically asked that the order appointing Advocate Commissioner be set aside. The court didn't do it. Secondly, the act is under challenge as being unconstitutional. Thirdly, the parliament always has the power to repeal it. So we do not even know what will happen to the act. So stop hiding behind it. Talk facts, talk justice. If mandirs are broken, do you support justice or do you not?
Well, that's a fundamental question. And Mujeeb Ur Rehman, let me bring in you and Vivek Srivastava. Why maintain a monument that celebrates the barbarism of Aurangzeb? Why do you do that? Unless you want to provoke the other community. Exactly the opposite of what Mr. Bakht is asking you to do today.
No. Firstly, Mr. Bhandari has been speaking, but doesn't he realize that the minorities and Muslims of this country, they respect the constitution, they respect the court, and the Ayodhya verdict was given complete respect by the Muslim community of this nation. So don't say that Muslims don't believe in court and Muslims will not listen to anyone. ये गलत है.
I asked you a very simple question. I never said Muslims leave or not. Just three statements of Mr. Owaisi on Ram Janambhoomi.
Mr. Owaisi doesn't represent the Muslim. There are so many Muslim leaders. And
don't lose your cool. Don't lose your cool, Mr.
People accepted.
No.
People accepted the verdict. People accepted the Muslims accepted the verdict.
Just a minute.
Mr. Owaisi doesn't represent the Muslims. You represent.
So Rahul, can I ask Mr. Srivastava that those who protested against the CAA law, which is still parliamentary, not challenged by any court of law, constitutional, was it wrong? Mr. Srivastava.
You see, we protested both the farmers' bill. We protested the farmers' bill. Even that was a bill that also you bulldozed.
You just said that these are constitution-abiding people. So can you take a position on whether this was unconstitutional? Shaheen Bagh was unconstitutional.
I am very clear. It's a black law. I am still very clear
Who
about
decides
it.
that?
Vivek
Who decides
Srivastava,
that?
there was an occupation. There was an occupation of public land. The Supreme Court said it was an illegal occupation. Both the protests that you are talking about.
Sir, every protest, even at
Rahul,
Jantar Mantar,
Yes.
If you just give me 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
Srivastava ji, you are my younger brother. Just humble request. Just please bear with me. Sirf the second. You know, I heard one gentleman in the beginning of this program who was saying, you know, all these proofs, all this evidence which has been taken out, all these videos, these are fictitious, these are fastidious, and they are not to be trusted. Now, in the beginning, they never wanted this court commissioner to enter the masjid. Now, what these 4 ladies wanted was, just they wanted to continue with their prayer. As namaz is going 5 times a day, they also wanted, according to what had been happening till 1992, they just said, we want to begin our prayer. I think the masjid committee, had it been, I think, discreet on that, at that moment, this matter would not have gone to the court, and I think we would not have been in this debate. I am going to ask a question from both my brothers, Rehman sahibs, both Rehmans. One is a lawyer, both are lawyers incidentally. Tell me one thing. What this gentleman in the beginning was saying, that we don't have any faith in these false and fictitious proofs and evidence. Do you believe that he was saying the right thing, and they do not want to bring them to public?
Do you believe he was saying the right thing?
No, the first thing is, obviously, it seems that all these marks were engraved randomly. We can see that
one second.
somebody
Mr. Rehman,
any monument,
if the court endorses, this report, will you accept it, yes or no, or will you reject that also? Because Asaduddin Owaisi says we will reject it. He has said such is also not sahi for us.
Or Rehman sir, put that fawara to work again, put that fountain in a working condition again. It was so laughable and ludicrous that gentleman was saying there was a pipe, it used to work, I have seen it. I don't know how people can talk
20 seconds, okay, 20 seconds, go ahead sir. Will you accept if the court rubber stamps the findings of the survey?
Shehzad Punewala has said they already knew that it's an original Jyotirlinga. Even in the 1980s they knew, but nowhere in the plan it is written that it's the original Jyotirlinga. By chance you found a fountain with shapes like the Shivling, so just you start claiming.
I'm only asking you, if the court underlines the survey report, will you accept it, yes or no? If the court underlines the survey report, will you accept it, yes or no?
No,
Rahul, they never answering yes or no.
Okay, they won't answer. They won't answer. This is an abject attempt. Yes, very quickly, Mr. Poonawala, I just want to move on after that, right? Yes.
So those who are saying about consensus and ameliorate, they should first accept. Today we have 3 panelists who are not even ready to accept that Aurangzeb was actually responsible for the destruction of the Mandir. And therefore, no, 1 second, sir. Before we get to the stage of conciliation, please have Mr. Mujeeb Ur Rehman accept that Aurangzeb broke Mandirs.
Okay.
Please have him accept it first.
I don't think that's happening. The line has been drawn, viewers. The line has been drawn in stone. Even if the courts uphold, we will not accept. The Sach is not Sahih. The Sach is not the absolute truth. It has been said. So viewers, we are staring at a long and protracted fight. It is unfortunate. Very unfortunate. The onus cannot only be on one side to constantly ameliorate the situation. There has to be a meeting of minds and, of course, a meeting of ground. I want to move on.